Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my channel and my studio. Today I am sharing such a fun shaker card featuring products from Waffle Flower Crafts. Forgive me for not having my face on camera today, but I have a giant scrape on my forehead and it might frighten you. All right, let's get into the card. Here's a look at the products I'll be using today, and I am very excited about this Duo Tone Butterfly Stencil. And I just love butterflies. 2 colors. We're going to keep it very simple. However, I have an idea, and we're just going to say I have an idea. This is called the Window Trio die set, and you get the hearts or the butterflies. They're together in the set. And then I have this really sweet little die and the dies for the Fluttering by Sentiments. So I'm going to be doing some ink blending with 2 colors that I absolutely love. So let me get set up for that and we'll get started. So on these stencils, there is, let's see if I can show you this. There are etchings, okay? And you want to make sure that you are lining up your piece of paper here right in those etchings. So I have a piece of, there's the etchings. I have a piece of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I'm just gonna get it lined up in the etchings, pop that down, and I'm just gonna tape right on the back. You know, I'll probably do it at the bottom too, just to hold it in place, okay? And I'll flip this over, and this is going to be layer 1, and the etching here with the title is going to read properly. I've got my 2 colors. I am gonna start, I think I'll just start with the worn lipstick, okay? And I'm going to get a brush out, and I'm going to take my paper towel and just give this a good little once over, just to make sure whatever I was using on here last is mostly cleaned out. I don't wash my brushes very often. I don't really think there's a need to, but when I do this, it gives it a nice little refresh and prime and clears off the color. Let's go ahead here, and we're going to load up with worn lipstick. And actually, I may tap just for a second to see if the color's coming off beautifully. Well, that's worn lipstick. All right. And then we're just going to come in and add the color. Add that color. And I'm kind of keeping a light hand on this. I'm not going super heavy, maybe darker at each opening and then a little going up, but it doesn't really matter, because the whole point of this is just to create a really pretty little butterfly background. And I love combining pink and orange tones together. Got our first layer of pink down. Now I want to show you something that's kind of fun, because these are small openings. I am going to grab another brush. I am going to bring in one of my Waffle Flower shaders. This is shader 1, and these are so fun because what I'm going to do is pick up a little more of that color with the shader brush and just, not moving there, just kind of focus on the base of each, just for a little bit of shading on each wing at the bottom of each wing. And what's nice about this, it just lets you get into sort of that lower area, right? And create that little bit of dimension with a little more control. All right, and then I'm just going to take one last little floop-a-doo over the whole thing, and let's lift and see how stencil layer 1 looks. Of course, the inks will smooth out and dry, but just adding that little bit gave it a bit more dimension. So we're going to set that one aside, bring in layer 2. Now I might need to retape this actually. Let's get the brushes out of the way here. Take that off for now, and the bottom. Oh, I tore my paper a little. But now you just want to make sure, again, that you're lining up right in that outline. Take the dried marigold, and some appear to have a bit more of an overlap than others, but honestly, I feel like that's fine. I think it's going to be fine, because I have them, well, mostly lined up. Here, let me see if I can futz this a little. Let's see here. There we go. That looks great. I'm going to hold that down. Actually, I need fresh tape. My mat's going to hold mostly the stencil or the paper down, but I still want to hold my stencil into place. like that. Okay, now we can go ahead and add the marigold. All right, looks like I have all the little shadow areas done, and that looks nice. So in a way, I'm kind of getting a two-tone look, but let's peel and reveal, and you can see the beautiful little pattern that I have made for my card. So that is step one. Now we're going to move on to some die cutting. The next thing I'm going to do is tape this into place. And I'm going to run this through my die cut machine to cut out 3 butterfly windows. So let's do that real quick. Right. And I also just recently changed a new green plate here. I always keep one clean and cut into one. And here's the other fun thing too. I mean, these could be used for something else, as is always the case. Sometimes I think about doing something else and, well, oftentimes I don't, but those are actually really cute. So let me just make sure that my paper's not gonna tear. I don't think it will, no. Great, so I have 3 little butterflies that I'm going to set aside. I'm gonna take one of my A2 layers dies and just probably take the largest one here and get this lined up. And then also, I'm going to angle this a little. I just want to make sure we're straight, but I'm going to cut this out as well. I don't think it, well, let me see. I could come down one maybe, but I am going to try to make a shaker. Oh, that's actually cute. You know what? I kind of like the crop in because we're eliminating white space that is not needed. And if I use my waffle flower foam strips, I'm going to be golden. So I'm going to hold that down. I'm going to turn it just a little like that and tape the other side down, and I'll go ahead and cut this out as well. And now I have a panel that I will be using to build my shaker. I've got some of this lightweight clear acetate from Simon Says Stamp, and I'm going to use that to make my window. So I know here that I guess if I go 3 1/2 by 4 3/4, that will be the perfect size. So let me cut this out. I've got the new Tim Holtz rotary trimmer here, and this has been a really good addition. Oh, excuse my head. And it cuts through everything beautifully. But one thing you have to keep in mind, you have to engage the blade by pushing. Let me see if I can get I don't have enough room here. By pushing it in. So if you are playing with this, let's see. Yep, that's good. And I've had some people say, well, Cathy, I didn't get a good cut. What's going on? You do have to, and let me see if I can, there we go. Now we're more steady. You have to press in on the apparatus and press the blade in and cut. And it just cuts beautifully. So I have this. Let me grab some double-sided tape. So now this is the perfect size for the back of my shaker, and I'm going to open up a pack here. I just ordered this because I've got some terrific tape from Simon Says Stamp, and I'm gonna go ahead and get that out of the way for now because I don't need that, but I just want to make sure that I've got it measured, and we're just gonna put some on here. So we'll go, I guess I could just tear it because it's going to be easy to get on. This is just to hold my acetate in place. To hold that down. Snip a tiny bit off. Get you right close to the butterfly to hold that in place. I suppose too, I could just take a little tape runner in the middle, like that. Anything to just hold, a little bit out there too. Anything just to hold that acetate down. All right. And now we will release the backers. Lovely. Turn this around and place the acetate right on So we are now creating our window. All right. Now I'm going to go grab some waffle flower foam tape to build up my shaker element. I'm going to add the 1/8 inch thick to the back here, and then I'm going to go in between as well so that each little butterfly window can have its own shaker. Let me turn on some music and we'll go ahead and do that. All right, I have my wells. I was a little short here. You know, I hate being a little short. So you know what you can do? You can just take the smallest bit, right, like that, and just kind of wedge it in if you're worried. I mean, I'm not too worried, although right here, I could kind of fill that in too, like that, okay? And that one, you know what? I think, well, again, better safe than sorry. Take a little bit and just plug it up. Don't be afraid to over-adhese and get that in where it needs to be, like that. Okay, now I have my 3 areas and I need to make a note card, and I'm just gonna use, let's see here, I got this really cute little mix. This is called Assorted Moonshine, and I love a neutral shine. So let me get my cardstock base ready. Let's go ahead and score this right at 5.5. And this is Neenah Solar White Classic Crest in the 110-pound weight. Fold you down and press. This is a Teflon bone folder that I like to use. Now here's what I don't know. Do I want to do the new way of doing shakers that I have recently discovered? And first things first, oh, look at that little surprise. We got to tape it closed because this cannot be moving around when I'm doing this. But if I, oh, see how I have that nice margin and each little well will have its little friends. It's so cute. Okay, I'm going to tape this into place too because I don't want it to move. Actually, I'm just gonna do that, flip it, and just plop that down. Here's the thing. If I do it this way, then I know I'm gonna be lined up. So I'm going to open my sequins. Oh, I just had an idea. You know what, let's open them first. Here's the thing, and I totally just, well, no, we're gonna do it this way. I thought, what if I filled these in and then just covered the back with a piece of cardstock? You know what? I wanna have a decent amount of shaker fill in each one. So that's what I'm gonna do. This is gonna work. This is gonna work. It should work. Okay, we're gonna getting you in, right? Filling you up, because I want there to be, you know, enough so that you see sequins in every one. Now, let me grab a piece of cheap cardstock that I can cut into this little background. So I just cut a panel that's gonna cover that nicely, and it's all gonna make sense, but I have to be mindful here because these sequins are already starting to flop out. I've got to take off the backers gently and not get too wild about this. So let me get this all off.
5 minutes later.
Now, all I have to do is take my panel that I trimmed to size, lay that down over the foam to seal in my shaker, okay? That's a little much, right? But I feel like, you know what, at this point, that is the best thing I'm gonna do, because now when I take this off, and I can trim a little, like I'm not going to. This is gonna be great, because when I flip this over, you'll see, each one has its own amount of goodness. Each one, oh yes. Okay, so now in order to put this element on here, we'll just take the backers off the big strips on the outside. Oh, I guess it wasn't one big piece, I forgot. Okay, get you guys out. And then we'll put our liquid glue on so we have a little float time. I'm gonna put beads running all the way up here so that has a little float time, and this too. But here's the pièce de résistance. we're just going to put some on here so that that also adheres in place and doesn't get left behind. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm going to stand up just so that I have a little view, a view with my head over the top. And we're going to pop you downtown. Oh, look at that. Oh, so cute. Right? Wiggle that into place. And we have a triple shaker window, my friends. Okay, I'm going to put a brick on this while I contemplate the greeting. So I've got my little greeting set here, and this is what I don't know. What do I want my greeting to say? It could just be a little fluttering by to say hello. And it could be, I mean, what's cute is you can say fluttering by to say hello and you are loved, or fluttering by, I mean, in that way, I wonder if I should do fluttering by to say hello and you are loved. Maybe I'll stamp a bunch of them, but what I don't know is what color, because it could be cute to take a pink and do it with a white reverse. Let me dig through the cardstock. So I have my little bin of scraps. Sometimes I do go into my scraps first, and I actually have these as printables that you can print and download and use on your in your own world. But I don't think that I don't have a pink. Well, that's pretty close, isn't it? That's a cute pink. What about my oranges? Let's see here. Oh, I don't have much in orange at all right now. Yeah, none of those are going to work. Let me keep looking. One of the reasons I love little swatch rings, and I do one for each company whose cardstock I use. For example, I know that's Gina K. I know that's Spellbinders. Of course, if you just have multiple mixes of companies, you could put the company name on too. But it's nice for when it's time to reorder. And it's nice for this, right? Because I can just kind of lay that down and say, maybe that is the best. But see, I think, and I could be wrong, I feel like, yeah, I think that's Dusty Rose. I love Dusty Rose. I don't even know if you can get it anymore, to be honest. I think it's, right? Isn't that the Dusty Rose? Yeah, it sure looks like it. A pink sand, though, that would just add a softness to the whole thing. So, you know what? Let's give it a whirl. I've got them decently spaced. I probably don't need them this spaced out, but let's do this. Okay, pick up and put this back in. And of course, they're brand new, so if you have the time, do the prime, right? That's what I like to say. Priming is just rubbing until they're a little cloudy, because they all have coatings now, right? It's just part of the manufacturing process. And if you're stamping for the first time, you may find you don't get a great impression. It's not the stamps, it's just they haven't been broken in. Let's powder up with some anti-static powder. This is from Simon Says Stamp, and this just removes static and oil from your cardstock and lets your embossing powder only stick to where the embossing ink goes. And brush it around and then close you up. Then I will bring in my clear embossing ink and we'll ink you up. I don't want to press too hard because I don't want it to get too mucky, but in the corner, right? And then I will transfer the ink. I use this little Stampin' Bug and just apply pressure evenly. Give that ink a second to transfer. What I like about this is I can actually see it. Ooh, that looks good. So I'm going to give it a second tapping. Why not? That's the purpose of having a tool like this, where you can stamp exactly in the same place. All right, now I'm going to leave that in here for a second while I grab my piece of paper. And we're going to open this up. You can see the nice, oh, it almost looks like, that's almost the exact same color as my cheap copy paper. Wow, who knew? All right, let's add our powder. This is Fine Detail White Powder from Simon Says Stamp. Sprinkle it on. And just let it sit for a second. And let it slide off and a light tap. Now, what you see here is why you use the anti-static powder, because all of the other powder just falls away. So if you've ever gotten frustrated with embossing because powder seems to stick everywhere, get yourself some sort of anti-static powder tool, and it really helps. All right, so I'll clean this up and we'll get ready to melt the powder. Let's funnel that back in. Now I'll get my heat tool warmed up so I can melt this powder. And that looks gorgeous. Fluttering by to say hi, and you are loved. All right, I am going to get the coordinating dies to cut these out. I have got these all taped into place, and let's go ahead and cut them out and see how I did. They're pretty easy to line up, so I didn't feel the need to do a template, but I will show you something that I do. I flip every so often my plate when I'm running it through. It really helps with the warping. And that way, I'm still cutting into the same side. I just sometimes go blade side up and sometimes blade side down. Let's see what we get. These are very cute little greetings. Like, they're very delicate. And I love that they have a die. Oh, and the insides get cut out too. Oh, that is so cute. Okay, there's the ampersand, which I haven't decided if I am going to use both of these. Oh my goodness, look at that cute little cut. So, fluttering by to say hi and you are loved. Now, we'll just see how this works. Let's clear all this out and we'll get ready to add these to the card. As I'm playing with this, I really think I can save those for something else, and I am just going to put fluttering by to say hello. I think this is so sweet, and you know, I suppose you could have one on every thing, but you know what? My philosophy with greetings are minimal. Don't overdo. Just because you have it, just because that's adorable, and that can be used. I mean, if I hadn't put foam tape on that, I guess I could stamp on the inside and you are loved, which would be very cute. And you know what? That's a good plan. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'll take the backers off like this. And I just, again, I went with also, just so you know, this is the 1/16 foam tape, which is thinner, also from Waffle Flower Crafts, and that way it won't be too lofty. I'm going to use that little bit of liquid glue just for wiggle room. Just a little, like that. Okay. Just in case I need it, we're gonna just center that so that the H and the O both kind of just hit in the center of our friend. And I actually think that looks really straight, but you know, you can check it like that. Oh, I love it. All right, I'm just gonna pop this on again, my heavy paperweight, to let that adhere. Right, that is very cute. Now, even though I do have shaker fill, I think I'll add a few sequins. I wanted to spread these out a little bit more so I could see them, because I don't want the really big ones on the card front, but this just sort of brings some of that shaker element out. So you know what we're doing. Now, these aren't confetti, so wish me luck. It's been a while since I've done regular sequins. In fact, I may need to incorporate, boop, boop. Oh, that worked. My tweezers. Boop. You know, because there's holes, and I don't want those holes to get filled with glue. All right, pick that up. Come on now. This one, kind of going into the window. And then trying to kind of, you know, use the little bits of open and white space. Moving down. This is fun. This is very fun. A shaker, a stencil. I really love butterflies in general. I just think this is smart design. Plus, I didn't even mention how cute the stitching is. Boop. Flatten you a little. There we go. These sequins are so different than what I'm used to wearing, or Did I just say wearing? Here, cup side down. Okay. And even on these two, you still do them cupward, right? Where the cup is facing up. Boop, forgot to say it. Say it, don't spray it. And the last one here, we're going to have you off in that little white ether. And we almost did it. Boop. Wonderful. Wonderful. And now we have a finished card project. That didn't take forever. So if I want to stamp an inside greeting, I'm just going to do the "and thank you," right, like that. I changed my mind. I'm going to do "thank you" instead of "you are loved." I can pick it up with my block. Let's see here. I like to try to keep it straight, right? And, you know, I don't usually stamp with distress ink. I guess I could try it, or let me grab a gray. I'm a very big fan of gray as a greeting on the inside. Now I don't always, well, this might be too light, but let's try it out. I might have to go one shade down. Yeah, one shade down. Let me grab one. Let's try Earl. Okay, that's a little easier to read, but I like gray because it's just a nice neutral and it's less harsh than black. Oh, I mean, that's nice. Now I'm thinking maybe I should go with a pink. Let me grab a different one. Let's do Carnation because I feel like when this dries, it's going to be a perfect little match, but I'm going to make sure all the water's off there. This is just my little practice. I think that will be nice. Well, now it feels, no, it's going to be fine once it dries because it will lighten up a bit. Let's see. I mean, I could try, what's the word? I could try the distress ink. Let's just try it. It's getting a little out of hand here. Although I think, well, okay, let's just do it. I never stamp with these inks, but maybe this is fine. Maybe this is, you know what? That's going to be fine. The color's a better match because it's literally the same color. So, see, you know, I include these things in my videos because there are just times when I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing. And this is one of them. So let's open it up. Okay. And I'm going to use my magnets to keep the window or the door open. And then we're just going to do it. And you know, if we mess up, we mess up. Oh, that's actually sticking up a bit. Where's my third magnet? Okay, we're inking up really well with the worn lipstick. This will be great. This will be fine. And right there, focusing on, oh, sorry, there's my head, the thank you being straight. Give it a chance to transfer and lift. And that's going to be golden. Golden goose. Okay. And that is my finished card project. So look at all that shaker fill, and there's sequins on the outside. Very shiny and happy. Oh, I love how this turned out. Okay, remember when I said I wasn't going to do anything with these? I changed my mind. I just threw together a quick tag because I thought, how cute would it be if you had your little fluttering by to say hi if that was your card, and then you had this as a tag on your package, or just a tag, period, on your package. Isn't on your package. A package on your a tackage on your package. You know what I'm trying to say. All right. Now we're done. Thanks so much for watching today. You can find links to all of the products I used in the YouTube description box. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to become one today, and I will see you back here with another card project soon. To see a few more fun cards featuring products from Waffle Flower Crafts, check out the 2 videos I have linked for you below, and I will see you in those videos.